why I want to go to Oxford is because it's a very difficult uni to get into, so getting in will make me push myself so much harder than trying to get into any other university. And preparing everything really has forced me to stay above on top of my work, and it just allows me to really challenge myself. I'm from South Africa, and I'd say the international community here is so massive, it's so diverse. There's always going to be someone from your country here. Like, I thought I'd be the only South African at Millfield, but I found there's probably 5 or 6 others, and then there's so many people who you're always going to Heathrow with to fly back with on half term. And you can always just learn so much about everyone else just because of where they're from as well. I'm applying for electrical engineering and also general engineering at Oxford, Edinburgh, Manchester, Imperial and UCL. Futures did offer me an Oxbridge map, which I did attend to help me decide which college I wanted to go to. And at the moment they're also offering PAT support for the physics admissions test, which I think is very, very helpful. I would not have been able to prepare as much as I have. Also offered a specialist who was able to help us prepare for Oxbridge. What do I enjoy the most about maths? I think the entire class actually is what sort of gets me going there the most. That's the lesson I look forward to the most, just because instead of not just focusing on the learning, we also sort of work together a lot in maths, so we can speak to each other, figure it out, and the sort of stuff we cover as well is a lot more applicable in life as well. Dr. Snaith was a recent lecturer who came into Millfield, and he spoke about sort of nuclear engineering, just on a side topic of one of his geography talks about solar power and how it can affect the world. And I was so inspired by his research. Like, he didn't go too much into it, but he sort of opened my eyes to the first introduction into nuclear power, and I found that really interesting and inspiring. I think honestly it was the sports facilities that really drew me here, and also the fact that it was majority a boarding school, and having an athletics track on site, that was the biggest thing for me, I'd say. I run the 1,500 meters and 3,000 meters, and what I love most about those is the fact that I can just get on the track, get a good pace set, and just start running. For my running, I train with the endurance squad, and we train about 3 times a week. One of those runs would be a more easy run or an easier session, and then Mondays more speed focused. Friday is a lot more endurance type, so tempo. I also play hockey, and I'm a striker, which I have been since I was 7 years old. Since it is a team sport compared to athletics, I get to spend a lot more time socializing with people and sort of figuring out how to work in a team as well under stressful situations, because hockey matches, we all know how it can feel being 2-0 down in a game and you're all stressed out, but sort of being able to come together and work together, I think I really like that about hockey. During my time at Millfield, I was able to achieve national level in cross country and at hockey. I feel like the sort of way boarding is here, it's very different to most boarding schools I've heard of and the one that I used to go to. It's so much more like a family and a whole community, because we are sort of far away from the cities, so I feel like you can't get this community somewhere else. I see my sister quite often in school, since she is also lowers, and we do quite a lot of things together as uppers and lowers, and she is also in the room right next to me, which is really helpful. So we also take the same sports, so I get to see her there all the time, and whenever we're walking past each other, either to physics or maths, I get to see her, which is honestly a highlight of my day. I want to be a prefect just because being able to make change and have the option to, even if it's not a lot, like having people come to me and give me their feedback, I think that's one of the greatest things, just so that people can feel like they're being heard. And also that fact that we were offered many socials, that was also quite a bonus for me.